Hello, dear one. I have been sharing almost daily video YouTubes here on my channel because there is something in the air that feels very alive in me and that feels very important as far as there is anything important in this dimension. It feels very important to me to bring up some things and bring consciousness and awareness and shine light on things that are going on with us all that are keeping us identified and stuck and attached to the matrix, in the illusion. And how do I say that today? I call myself a self-love mentor, and I'm certified in the Hakomi work, which you may have heard of. Hakomi is basically assisted self-study. That is one of the first things when I started. It is assisted self-study because most of us do not know how to study, which is a funny word, but how to be present with ourselves, with all of ourselves, not just this part, and also not just this part if we are hurting, in the physical, but all of us, the whole shebang, everything that we are. And that is not something we learned when we grew up, especially if you're in my generation or a few generations later. I think the younger generations today, and I know there are some of you here also, you have more access to your wisdom, to your presence, to your feelings, and you are more able to go there and learn from it and find out who you are, what this movement wants to express. But we have to realize that we live in a world where that is so dense. It's so dense because we live it all from up here, which is the programming of the matrix, that we miss the aliveness, the wisdom, the juiciness, the flow, the fulfillment, everything that we really long for, but we go up here to find it. So I want to say you cannot heal from up here because the problem is here. So we need to get beyond that. And that is including our whole being. And our whole being is much, much, much more than just what you see in the mirror. And when you look down on yourself, that is like a tiny little particle of what you truly are. So when I talk about assisted self-study in the Hakomi therapy world, it is simply helping my client in this case to become present with and become aware of and start dipping into and start listening to and start making space to all the parts and areas inside of us that we have ignored. And I'm telling you, there's a lot we have ignored. And it's not that we're stupid or bad or anything that we do that. We have all grown up our lineage. They have all grown up in this same density, and probably it was much more dense because it is softening. Because so many of us have done all this work for so many years that the energy has softened, and we have more access to it now. But if you have not learned how to be present with yourself and how to listen to your feelings and feel your feelings and pay attention to them, actually invite them up. But if you automatically go here to where the programming is and to where your core beliefs are about yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I don't deserve it, I will never be able to do it. That's stuff that we're all born into and have been living out since then. So if you only have access to that, you're going to miss so much of you, because you're so much more than your programming. The bottom line is, of course, that you are not your programming, but the programming will do anything it can to make you believe that you are the programming. That's why it is not easy. But I can tell you, if you want to make a dent and maybe a big crack and maybe let the whole thing fall apart, do reach out for help, for support. You can't do this on your own. And I'm not saying this in a, derogative way, that you can't do it. But I see it over and over and over again, where so many people have done so much work on themselves, but it hasn't fully reached the core, the body, the being, the soul, the vibration, the frequency, the the energy that we are. A lot of it stays up here and it's not being fully embodied. And that journey in itself, that's a long journey for most of us. I've been on it for a long time, ever since I started actually becoming a Hakomi therapist, which I think I started in 1999. So that's 26 years. And it's probably been one of the most powerful things I learned, because I started becoming present and aware of me, of who I am, and how I treated myself, and how I suppressed a lot of things that I didn't even know I did. And part of the programming that we are walking around with is basically that our feelings are not valid, that they're not real, or that they don't have value. But the truth is, your feelings are real. Your sensations are real for you. Okay, that's important. Your feelings, your sensations, your knowing, whatever is going on at a deeper level than up here, that is real for you. What you feel is probably not real for me. It might be, there might be overlap, but what I feel is real for me. And that's why my channel is sharing what is real for me. And it's totally fine if it doesn't resonate with you, because then it's not real for you. Then you need to find something that is real for you. There are many, many roads and highways and blind, dead end roads, whatever, a lot of them. And sometimes we need to move into a dead end road to find out that that's not it. We've all done it. There's nothing wrong with that. You turn around and you go back and you find out, okay, how can I listen deeper? How can I learn that I don't do that again? What is it? What was I listening to? What was I not quite understanding? What was I ignoring? So that's why we, little by little, we start embodying more of who we are. And by that, we do start realizing that what we feel is real for us, for you, okay? This is when you can start moving forward. If you would decide to do some assisted self-study with me or anybody else, that's of course fine. But since I'm here speaking about it, if you feel moved to explore that with me, you will learn about all the ways that you are either ignoring your feelings, you're not trusting them, you may suppress them, exaggerate them. You may never have anybody reflect them back to you so that you can start trusting them and including them in your beingness. So many layers, my friends. And we are living in a world right now where we better wake up to that spark of light that lives in each of us, that we feel as a longing or a pull to something better, more peaceful, more loving. If we do not know it's there, or if we know it but we ignore it, you'll just be part of the masses out there that are just walking to the cliff. And again, I'm not trying to be mean or judgmental, but until you drop in and become aware of your inner landscape, you will be walking here and you will most likely be following what most people are following and believing with different nuances, but you are moving away from you. So you are moving in a direction that is based on the mind matrix, and then you will stay in that. There are many people who are moving in another direction because it seems like there is a split that's been going on for a while where we can use the word that people are following their mind only, and then there's those who are dropping in, hopefully connected with their mind, and they're starting to move in a direction that feels much more true inside, as a feeling, as a knowing, as a sensation, as a yes. That is learning the language of your body and the language of your soul. And that, in my experience, is really, really important, that we start connecting with who we truly are. And we cannot do that in the mind. You can't even really do it by going out of the mind and then coming back to the mind. It's great to have these meditations, but we need to come back in and embody it in our whole beingness. And as long as we have all these contractions and boulders and belief systems that keep popping us out of our beingness, it stays here. And we all know it's pretty uncomfortable in here, right? So it's easy to shoot up if you're a good meditator, where you can leave yourself and be in a much better atmosphere, let's say. But it's still here, and then it's escaping from here, and then it's back to here, and it's like, oh, I need to escape again. So many of the practices we do, meditation or retreats, breath work, plant medicine, coaching, so many beautiful things that are available. It can still be that we end up here. I know a lot of these things, they also bring us in here, and that's, of course, a good thing. But you just need to be aware that what you feel, and that's why I encourage you to learn how to feel your experience, because it is real for you. It is not wrong or bad or unspiritual or whatever nonsense we have been programmed to believe. It's none of that. It's real, and it's a gift. it's a piece of wisdom that we can keep receiving from ourselves, from within, and use that as the guidance for our next expression, for moving along on our journey all the way home. You cannot ignore your whole beingness. It's not about escaping it. It's a very male way, ascending and rising above. And there is a place for that. I'm absolutely not denying that. But what about this whole beingness that is run on spiritual energy, that is maintaining and sustaining itself from our source connection? We can bring it all in here into our experience. And when we do, then we will also feel the longing, what we long for, what we want. And then the more we can keep coming back. And if you haven't watched my videos on that, there are a number of videos that talk about how to really be present in here and how to allow that to be felt more and more. So you start recognizing that, you basically already are the things that you're longing for, but we had hidden it here. We'd suppressed it. We've pretended that it wasn't there, or we were afraid of it. And that's so common. There are these beliefs that cover our heart, that cover the divine mouthpiece. And those need to be felt to the core. And if you're up for doing that, doing an assisted self-study, and start opening up some of this density, this cemented gate, that's hard to get beyond. But we can get beyond it by softening through it. And if you have not learned how to do that, I would highly recommend that you reach out for support in learning how to be present in your body. When we do that, we become so present in our own presence and in our own love, because we are love, that just starts moving out more, and the world will feel it whether we know it or not, because we are oozing out an energy that is here to dissolve the illusion, or shall I say the belief in the illusion. Because an illusion is nothing, right? An illusion is just like poof, it's nothing. But it is the belief in the illusion. And like I talked about yesterday, actually, the belief, Joel Goldsmith said, the illusion is the belief in good and evil. So when we start coming in here into our heart, that is not here. That duality doesn't exist here. And then that oneness start moving out, and the oneness is, I was going to say, it's more powerful than anything. It's because there's no duality. It's the one power, and it dissolves everything back into itself. Please reach out if you need help with this. And if you want to partake in my little online gathering this coming Tuesday, August 5th, the link is below. It's called Feel Your Deepest Longing, Find Your Spiritual Calling. And that's what we always spend time doing, to really get in touch with that, and knowing that what you feel is real, what you long for is real, and learning to take it very seriously. All right, my friends, I hope to see you on Tuesday. It would be lovely to meet you in person. online though. Have a great day.